Today I'm going to show you how to make this super cute and easy crochet dog bandana. It has 3 different border options. This is one of them. And it has a strap and a button, so it's really easy to put on, and it's adjustable. So it will fit on different size dog necks, and it's also very easy to take this pattern and make it larger or smaller. If you have a bigger dog or smaller dog or a cat or a guinea pig or whatever you want to put your bandana on, you can size it to fit pretty much any pet, I think. So maybe like a goldfish or something. It's a nice fast project. You can get it done in less than an hour for sure. And yeah, have a bunch of cute dog bandanas or cat or whatever bandanas for your pet. So let's get started. For this bandana, you're gonna want to use a worsted weight yarn. I recommend cotton. For this demonstration, I'm using Comfy Worsted Weight by Knit Picks or We Crochet, and this is a cotton acrylic blend. It's 75% cotton, 25% acrylic, but it is just a size 4 medium worsted weight yarn. And this is the color Honeydew. I think it's very pretty. And in addition to that, you're gonna want a 5mm crochet hook. I have my lovely Wooden Furls crochet hook that I really love. Definitely check these out if you haven't yet. They're so comfortable. You're also gonna need a needle and thread, a tapestry needle or a yarn needle to weave in your ends, just a regular needle and thread to sew the button on, and also you're gonna need a button. And I'll go grab my buttons in a minute, but they're about 1/2 inch buttons. It doesn't have to be exact. It just needs to be small enough to fit through the little hole from the double crochet on the strap, and that's how we do it. So it's just, you just wrap it around, and then we're gonna just put the button right through the stitch, and that holds it in place. And yeah, and then that way you can adjust it anywhere on the strap you want, and you know, make it tighter or looser for your dog. So that is how we're gonna do that. And like I said, there's 3 different border options. There is just plain, there's scalloped, and then there is the boho tassel, which I really think is cute. I'm gonna show you how to do the base bandana real quick, and then I'm gonna do the scalloped border for this one. And be sure to stick around until the end, because I'm gonna get my doggy in here and do a little fashion show with her with the bandana. So you definitely don't wanna miss me getting covered in dog hair. It'll be really fun. And she's cute. She's a pug. She's super cute. She's gonna snore a lot, so, you know, just be prepared for that. All right, so now that we covered all that, let's just get started and make our little dog bandana. So there's 2 different ways you can start this bandana. One is the magic ring or the magic loop. That's my preferred method, but I know some people are not a big fan of that, and I totally understand. So if you don't wanna do the magic ring, you can also do the chain 4 method, which I'll demonstrate also. So let me show you the magic loop. All right, so here's how you do a magic ring. You start with your yarn. You're gonna have your tail end here, and then you got your working yarn over here. And then you're gonna wrap it around your 2 fingers. You're gonna cross it over so it makes an X, and then just kind of hold it in place over here with your ring finger. So I'm kind of holding it down like that. Then you grab your hook, and you're gonna go under this first part of the X, and then you're gonna scoop the yarn on this part and bring it under, and then you're gonna turn your hook like this, and that kind of loops your yarn onto your hook. Then you're gonna reach back over here and grab the same yarn that we just had grabbed before, go under it like that, and then you're gonna pull it through the loop, and that will lock in your magic ring, and it also acts as your chain 1. We're going to be chaining 3 at the beginning, so that's the first chain, and you're just going to yarn over and chain 1 more and then 1 more. So now that's our chain 3, and now we're gonna make 2 double crochets in the magic ring. So all you do is yarn over, and you're gonna be working right into the center of this ring. So you yarn over, I usually hold my yarn in place with my finger, and then you insert right into the middle of that ring, grab the yarn and pull it up like this. Then you're gonna yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over and pull through 2. And that's a double crochet in the magic loop. So there's one. We're going to do that one more time. Yarn over, insert into the middle of the loop, pull up a loop of yarn, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over and pull through 2. So there's that's our first 3 double crochets of row 1. The chain 3 counts as the first one. So now what we're going to do is we're going to chain 1, and this is going to make our corner of our bandana. And then we're going to do 3 more double crochets in the same magic loop. So same thing again, just right into the loop and make 3 double crochets. All right, there we go. We got our chain 3 and 2 double crochets, a chain 1, and then 3 double crochets in our loop. So now we're gonna do the magic of the magic ring, which is we're gonna pull on this end and it's gonna close up this loop. So all you do is just pull it. I don't tighten it super, super tight at this point because when we go to do the edge, we crochet along the edge, we're gonna need to crochet into that little circle, and if you do it too tight, it's really hard to get your crochet hook back in there. So we will do that later. We'll tighten it up more at the end, so don't worry about that. I just leave it a little bit open. I have dog hair everywhere. I don't even know how my dog's not even in here yet. It's amazing. So that was the magic loop method, and now I'm going to show you how to do the chain 4 method. If you went ahead and already did the magic loop, just skip this part and move on. I'll put a timestamp on the screen as to where you can go to get to the next part of the video to get to row 2. But if you want to see the chain 4 method, I'm going to do that now. All right, so to do the chain 4 method, you're just going to go ahead and do a normal slip knot and put it on your hook like you would normally do. And then you chain 4 times. What we're going to do is work into this first chain that we made, and these 3 chains here count as our chain 3. So that like counts as your first double crochet. So you're going to yarn over and insert into that first chain, and you're going to do 2 double crochets in here. Okay, then you're going to chain 1 and do 3 more double crochets in that same chain. And there you go. So you see this method, you get a little bit bigger of a hole right here, but we're going to crochet along this edge anyway, and that knot will be hidden, and it really doesn't matter that much. It still works just fine. And then we would continue on to row 2, which is going to be the same no matter which method you did. So that is the chain 4 starting method. So now we're going to go on to row 2. I also wanted to mention we're going to do 9 rows for this bandana, and this fits a medium-sized dog. A pug specifically is what I'm making it for. But you can easily stop sooner, like stop at like 6 rows or so if you wanted to make this for a cat or a really small dog, like a Chihuahua, or like a really small dog. I would stop maybe 5 or 6 rows in, honestly. If you think that 9 rows is too big for your dog, do less. If you think it's too small for your dog, if you have a big dog, you can do more rows, and you can just go until it looks right. You can just keep repeating these rows forever. I don't think it would ever it would just be a really big triangle at some point. All right, so for row 2, we're gonna turn, and then we're gonna chain 3. And then you're gonna double crochet in that same stitch that the chain is coming out of. And then you're gonna do 3 double crochets, a chain 1, and 3 more double crochets in the corner space. All right, there's our corner, and then we're gonna go into the top of the chain 3 right here and do 2 double crochets there. So let's see. I like to go under both loops, and it's kind of tricky to get under that back loop, but I'm gonna do it. There we go. And then just do 2 double crochets there. All right, so there's row 2 complete. Now we're gonna move on to row 3. So it's the same thing, we're gonna turn. And we're gonna chain 3 times. Then we're gonna make another double crochet in that same stitch that the chain is coming out of. There you go. And now we're gonna just start working into each space. So this is the first side space that's shown up here from the last round. We're gonna do 3 double crochets right in that space. And then again in the top corner space, we're gonna do 3 double crochets, a chain 1, and then 3 more double crochets. There we go, and then 3 double crochets in this side space. And then 2 double crochets in the top of the chain 3. And there we go, that is row 3. All right, on to row 4. Again, we're going to turn and chain 3, double crochet in that same stitch, then 3 double crochets in this first chain space here. There we go, and then 3 in the next space. And 3 double crochets, a chain 1, and 3 double crochets in the corner. There's our corner. Now we're going to continue along the side. We have 2 more spaces here. So we're going to do 3 double crochets in the first one. and then 3 in the next one. And then 2 double crochets in the top of the chain 3. All right, there we go. So that is row 1, 2, 3, 4. At this point, I'm just gonna keep doing the exact same thing for until I get to the 9 rows. So I'm gonna go ahead and skip ahead to that just because it's literally the exact same thing that we just did for the last couple of rows. I'm gonna go ahead and get my 9 rows done and then meet you back here. Okay, so I made it to round 9. Here's how we're looking at this point. Now we're gonna do the strap and collar section. So it's got a little strap on the side and then like a collar that goes across, like kind of a band to give it a little, you know, just to make it lay nice on their neck. And this is adjustable also. We're gonna chain 21. If you wanted the little, I'll show you on this one. That's how long it is with the 21 chains. If you wanted it to be longer, you just do more. If you want it to be shorter, you do less. I'm gonna chain 21 now. All right, there we go. And whenever I go down the chain, I like to go into the back bump on the back side of the chain, just so there's a nice edge on the side. You don't have to do that, it's optional. If you don't like working into the back bump, it'll still work just fine if you work on the side, but I just like how that looks, so that's what I'm gonna do. So you are gonna work in a second chain from your hook, and I'm gonna flip mine over to the back, and there's that bump, and that's where I'm gonna go. So we're gonna do single crochet for this row. So I'm just going under that back bump and doing a single crochet. And you're just gonna do that for all the rest of the chains going down the row. So there's gonna be 20 single crochets for this row. So there we go, I got my 20 single crochets done. And if yours is all curled up, kind of, just give it a little pull and it straightens it out pretty good. It might curl a little on you, but it should be all right. You can always block it if it's bothering you, but I'm not real worried about it. Now we're gonna single crochet along this top edge, and we're just gonna evenly, you know, make a single crochet every, you know, keep it even. There's no specific number, you just want it to be even and not too few and not too many. So since we're working into the sides of the stitches, it's kind of like there's not really any set place you have to work. So here's where I go. I just go right here in this little space of this stitch. And then there's this little, there's this little circle space here. I go in there. And then I go right here. And right here. And I'm just going right down into the loop. I'm not trying to like just get under 2 loops of the yarn or anything like that. I am just going for it because it's easier. It's a pain to do the other way. So I'm just going right into the holes along the side and just keep it even. But you kind of start to see that there's the same pattern repeating because each row, you know, be repeated. So I go into that little hole right there and here. I'll show you how it's looking. See, it really blends in. You just want it to look, you know, even and not like ruffled up. That probably, if it's ruffling on you, like, you know, bunching up, you probably have too many stitches. And if, you know, if you have too few, it kind of just looks spaced out and like stretched out, and your stitches will be kind of like leaning because they're trying to reach to the other space. So then that probably means you didn't do enough, but just keep going. If you do it the way I'm doing it, where you go in each different space along the row with a stitch, then you're probably going to be good. When you get to either your magic loop ring or your chain 4, we're gonna do 1 single crochet in that circle. We're gonna do 1 single crochet right there. And once I do that, if you did the chain 4, you know, ring, there's nothing to tighten. But if you did the magic ring, you can go ahead and do your stitch and then take your yarn in and pull it and tighten it up. And now it'll be tight. My other thing I like to do is, now I have this yarn tail, so I'm gonna crochet over this yarn tail for the rest of the edge, and then I don't have to weave it in later. So, you know, make your life a little easier. So just keep going, and you're gonna just go over your, see, where am I going here? Right here. And just keep crocheting over the yarn tail. And that's one less thing you gotta worry about later, which I am a big fan of. So there we go, I single crocheted all the way across, and here's the last one right here going, this was a chain 3, I think, from that row. So that was where my last stitch is, right there. And now we've gone all the way across. And now we're gonna do the second row of the strap and collar, and this is a double crochet row. And the reason why is, well, for one, it makes it thicker, which is good. And for two, it makes it so you can get the button through, because there's, you know, the bigger holes in the double crochet. So that is kind of the point of why I did single crochet, double crochet, single crochet, because the double crochet will fit the button through, but then the single crochet just looks neater for the edge. So I thought I would do a little combo of those two things. So that's why, if you're wondering. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna turn. And don't worry about this end, we'll deal with that later, just cut it off since we already wove it in. And we're gonna chain 3. And then we're going to skip the first stitch and do our first double crochet in the second stitch, because that chain 3 we're counting as a stitch. So just go ahead and double crochet into the second stitch, and it'll look like this. And then just keep double crocheting all the way down the row. So there we did row 2 of the strap, and now we're gonna just go ahead and turn, and we're gonna do a row of single crochet. So we're gonna do a chain 1 after we turn. So there I turned. We're gonna do a chain 1, and then just in the first stitch, you're gonna go ahead and do your first single crochet. Not skipping anything for this row, and then just go ahead and single crochet in each stitch going down the row. And then once you get back to the end, you're going to find that chain 3 is there. So you're going to make your last single crochet in the top of that chain 3. And there we go. So there is our collar and strap done. And then you go ahead and finish off. And I'm just going to pull the yarn through this loop and pull it to tighten it. There we go. So here's where we are at this point. We got our strap, our bandana done. Now we just have to do our border. There are 3 options for the border for this bandana. There is the plain border, there is the scalloped border, and there's the fringy boho border. For this green one, I'm gonna do the scalloped one. Okay, so we're gonna be starting over here on the opposite side from the strap, and you're gonna look for the first space. So here's my first 3 double crochet cluster. So I know the first space is right here before that. And these are the 2 double crochets from the beginning of that row. We're gonna start right here. First, we're gonna go ahead and attach our yarn to our hook with a slip knot. And then we're gonna insert into that space and then just pull up a loop, and I'm gonna just pull it through. There we go, now we're attached. So you're gonna go ahead, that was chain 1, so here's chain 2 and chain 3. And then you're gonna do 2 double crochets in that same space. There we go. And then here's the 3 double crochets of the cluster. You're gonna slip stitch to the second one right here. So you're just gonna insert into that stitch and do a slip stitch like that. And then we're going to do 5 double crochets in the next space. And then we're gonna slip stitch and do 5, slip stitch, do 5, and so on down the row. So we've done our slip stitch. Now we're gonna make 5 double crochets here in this next space. There we go. Then again, you're gonna slip stitch into this middle stitch from the next 3 double crochet cluster. So just slip stitch right into that. Then 5 double crochets in the next space. And then again, a slip stitch in the next center double crochet. And then you're just going to repeat that pattern going down until you get to right before the middle, the center corner space. And I'll show you what to do once you get there. But go ahead and just do 5 double crochets and a slip stitch in the middle of the cluster for each one until you get to this last space. All right, and then I'm going to go ahead and slip stitch in the next middle stitch. And then in the corner, we're going to do 7 double crochets to make it go further around so it fans around that corner. There's the corner, and now we're going to go ahead and go down the other side. So first I'm going to slip stitch into this double crochet in the middle of the cluster, and then do 5 in the next space. And slip stitch into the next one. Do 5 in the next space. And you're just going to continue that going down the row till you get to the other corner. All right, so now I'm going to do a slip stitch here in this cluster. Oops, I'm going to try to. Do my slip stitch, and then this is our last space on this side. So in this last space, just like we did on the first space, we're going to do 3 double crochets here to finish off our scallop. And then we're going to, you see this stitch right here, we're going to slip stitch into that to finish off. Now we just got to cut our yarn and pull it through, pull it to tighten that up. And there we go. We have our little scalloped cute bandana going on here. And now all we have to do is weave in our ends and get our button and attach our button to our cute little bandana. So I'm going to show you how to sew on the button real quick, and then I'm going to show you how to do the tassel border on another one that I already have crocheted up over here. So, you know, you've probably sewn a button on before. This isn't really much different, except we're sewing it onto a crochet item, which, you know, you gotta be mindful of the space in between. Make sure you're actually getting into some of the stitch and not just sewing into nothingness. Okay, I got this needle and it's super tiny, so I gotta thread it. Oh, I got it. Oh, that was impressive. You want to make sure that your strap is on the right and you're sewing your button here on the left. So that means the right side is facing up. So you're just gonna place your button right, you want it to be like in the middle. Like if this is the top and this is the bottom, you want it to be like in the center, so that way it'll line up with the double crochet holes, and it'll, you know, lay nice whenever it's buttoned. So, okay, what I like to do to secure this thread is, before I put the button there, I go up behind, make sure I'm going through a stitch in the spot that I wanted it to be, and go ahead and pull that up. Make sure the knot doesn't come through, because it's just gonna come through the yarn if you just pull. So here, I'm gonna go through this buttonhole, if I can get through there. Okay, go through this buttonhole, and then I'm gonna go down across through the other hole, and then I'm gonna go in here, but then make sure you haven't pulled it all the way yet, because you don't want your knot to come through, and I'll show you what I do to keep it from just coming through. Then I take my needle, so now I'm on the back side. I take my needle and I go through the threads like that, and then pull it, and then that will hold it. That'll keep it from sliding through, as you're kind of just tying a little slip knot or something there. So yeah, do that first, and then you're just sewing like normal. Just want to make sure that you're going actually through yarn. And I sew it on really, really well. Like, I go through several times. Okay, we're gonna call that good enough and flip it over, and then I just like to take the tail of the yarn and just tie it and make a knot a couple times like that, and then I'm just gonna bring the thread through to the front of the button. Whoops, and try not to do that. Pull it through, and then I'm gonna cut it. You can weave the tails in and stuff if you want. I'm just not for this one. I might put a dab of glue on there just to make it a little more secure, and that's an option too. But there, I just wanted to go ahead and get that sewn on so I can show you. And then the last thing we have to do is weave in our yarn tails. We have one we can just cut off because we crocheted over it, and then the other three we gotta weave in. And you're just gonna weave in your yarn tails however you like to do. I like to flip it over to the back, and I just go through this row of single crochets here. Feel free to weave them in more securely. It is more secure if you go back and forth a bunch of times throughout your piece and weave them in that way, but I don't usually do that because I don't know, I just don't want to by the time I'm to that point. That is up to you though. So there's this yarn tail here is the one that was from our magic loop or center, you know, our start that we already crocheted over, so I'm gonna go ahead and cut that one, and I just wove this one in. Goodness gracious, sounds like King Kong is walking around above me. All right, and that one is done. Isn't it cute? I'm gonna do a demo here in a minute, I promise, with my dog. But I wanted to show you, I'm buttoning it. And is it not adorable? I just think it's so cute. Okay, so that is that one. And then I wanted to show you real quick the tassel method for the border real quick. So what you're gonna do is start with your yarn. I'm using the same yarn I used to make this bandana, and you could use a contrasting color if you wanted to, and you could do that with the scallop border also. You know, you can do whatever you want. It's your bandana, right? So I'm just gonna like wrap this yarn around my hand, and what we're going for is we want to have 3 little pieces of yarn to go in each space all the way around, all the spaces on the pointy end of the bandana. So it ends up being, I think it's 17. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Yes, 17. And we need 3 per space. That ends up being 51 if you did the same size bandana I did. If you make it bigger, you'll need more. If you make it smaller, you'll need less. So I'm just gonna wrap the yarn around my hands 51 times. Let's go. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Then you're just gonna cut your yarn. So you got this one over here and you got this one over here, right? And then we're gonna cut along this bottom edge, but I don't want to cut my hand, so I'm gonna take it off my hand. And you just want it to be like a little tunnel there, and you got this end here and this end here. And then you're just gonna go straight through here and cut. There we go. Okay. So now we have our 51 pieces of yarn that are around the same size. Take 3 pieces of your yarn, and all you're gonna do is thread it through. You'll find the first space. So here's, you can find the first 3 cluster, and the space is right next to it. That first one's sometimes hard to find. And you're just gonna thread these 3 right through there. Should be pretty easy to do. And then line up the ends, and then just loop them around your finger and push them through. And you just have to make sure to get all of them. Once you got them all, you're just gonna pull or slide the knot towards the bandana while pulling on these ends, and that way the knot goes closer to the bandana. And then I usually give all the little pieces a pull to make sure everything's even. Here we go. And there is one. And you're just gonna do that again for all spaces. So that is the idea. You just keep going, adding your 3 little tassels to each one until you get all the way around to the other side. All right, it is the moment we've all been waiting for. I'm sure you've been waiting for it. I'm getting yarn everywhere. Okay, it's the moment we've all been waiting for. I'm gonna get my doggy and do a little demo of this adorable, I'm about to get a lot of dog hair on me, so definitely stay tuned for that. Very excited? All right. Okay, you have to be cool. You have to be cool, Daisy. Oh, goodness. Whew. Hi. Okay, let's gotta sneeze on me. Are you gonna hold still? You're not, are you? You're not, are you? Look at all these dogs. You see all these dogs on the table? They're not real, don't worry. Are they your friends? We gotta do the big thing here, Daisy. Okay. This is what you gotta calm down. No, don't be crazy. Settle down. All right, I just gotta see where I need to button it, and I can button it and then slide it over your head, okay? Because I know you're not gonna let me button it while I'm trying to put it on you. Ew, what are you doing? Ew. It's not barf on camera. Okay, I buttoned it. I pre-buttoned it. Come here. No, don't do this. Come here. Oh my gosh. All right. Are we good? Are we good? There you go. Oh, aren't you just sweet? Look how cute. Look how cute you are. You quit trying to escape. Oh, look how cute. Oh, you show them your cute bandana? See, look at my cute bandana. What do you think? Do you like it? Is it good? Okay. I'm going to take the fact that you're not trying to take it off as a good sign. So I hope you enjoyed that tutorial and are gonna make one of these for your furry friends. If you do, please share a picture over on Instagram and tag me at Marching North. I would love to see a picture of them wearing their cute little bandana. And if you enjoyed this tutorial, please leave a like, comment, and be sure to subscribe so you don't miss any of my future videos. If you want to check out the written pattern for this, I have it over on my blog and I linked that down in the description. And also I'm going to be putting this pattern in my shop so you can buy the printable version if you like to have a printable ad-free version as well. Who's your little baby? Who's your little baby? Okay, that's pretty good.